students, welcome back. Let's continue with the RPC. So far we have discussed about the different concept in the RPC, means what exactly the RPC was and what are the steps that are involved in RPC, and I have taken an example to explain what exactly the RPC technology is. Now let's see the implementation issues in RPC call. Okay, if you want to call an RPC, if you want to perform an operation on remote procedure, so there is some issues are there. If you want to implement anything, you will face some issues. If you try to solve that issues, then you will success in that concept. That is a concept. So if you want to discover anything, what you will do? You have to find out what are the issues in that. If you solve that issues, you will get an output. And the same way, here also for implementing the RPC, some issues will be there. So after solving that issues, the RPC technology was introduced. Now let's see RPC protocol. So this is protocol, means you know the set of rules. So what type of rules that RPC is following? So the first issue is the choice of RPC protocol. Whenever you are starting the program, whenever you are using the RPC technology, the remote procedure call, the first step is what type of RPC protocol you are using. You are using the connection oriented or connection less. This is the basic point. You are working on the connection oriented technology or you are working on the connection less. You want to call some message somewhere else in the program, somewhere in the other computer. So that computer is connection oriented or connection less. That has to be decided. So this is the first implementation issue. Connection oriented protocol means the client is bound to the server and a connection is established between them. The client is, whatever the client machine is there, that client machine is bound to the server. Okay? And establish a connection between them. Here the advantages are communication becomes much easier. Why the communication becomes much easier? Because it is a connection oriented. If connection is there, a wire is connected between the client and server, the communication becomes easier. You don't bother about the network properties. What type of technology property they are using. Okay. So communication becomes easier. The disadvantage is, especially over a local area network, is the performance loss. So it work only, the connection oriented will work on local area network only, not on the wide area network. Okay. If you choose a connection less protocol, what happened? So if you choose a connection less protocol, the internet protocol and UDP, user datagram protocol. Internet protocol is the network layer and the UDP is the transport layer protocol. So these two protocols are easy to use and fit in the well with existing Unix systems and networks such as internet, but downside is performance. Okay, so the connection-less protocol uses these two technologies, the two protocols for communication. So that should be in the existing Unix system and the networks only. Okay. And here the packets and messages length is another issue. The another issue in the RPC is the packet and a message length. How much size of the packet that you are sending from client to the server, or how much of packet you are requesting from the client by using remote procedure call. Okay, so that is another issue. And next, doing an RPC has a large fixed overhead independent of the amount of data sent. Thus, reading of, suppose if you take 64 kilobytes of file in a single 64K RPC is vastly more efficient than reading it in 64 1K RPC. Obviously, if 1K is there, it is easy to understand to any type of thing. But if it is at a time 64K of message, a file is to handle 64K of file, it's very difficult for the RPC to read that file and perform the operation. Okay. And another, it is therefore important that the protocol and network should allow large transmissions. So same RPC systems are limited to small size. In addition, many networks cannot handle large packets. So as a single RPC will have to be split over multiple packets, causing extra overhead. Actually, this is one of the disadvantages here. Even though it is a disadvantage causing extra overhead, what the RPC is doing, the RPC is splitting the complete big message into packets, a different packet. So it is sending one by one, one after the other. Okay, so let me take an example to explain this RPC technology, the implementation issue that is facing in the RPC. Let's take an example. Okay, so the example here is client wants to write a 4 block of data to file server. The client wants to write a 4 kilobytes of block of data to file server. Okay, but system cannot handle packets larger than 1K. But system cannot handle packets larger than 1K. So then how this RPC technology will be implemented? The client wants to send 4K block of data it wants to send, but our system will handle only up to 1K. Okay, so the 4K of data, let's take 0, 1, 2, 3. So this is the 4K of data. So the first method, let me take the client here and the server here. So there are two methods out there that I want to send the 4K of data. I can send in two ways. First is 0 packet. So the complete 4K of data I divided into 1K, 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 total 4K. So the 1K I take it as a 0 and another 1K I'm 1 and 1K 2 and 1K 3. Means total 4 packets I make it as. So first 0 is sending to the server. So after server receiving, it acknowledges, okay, I received the 0 packet. Next it sends the 1 packet. Again the server will send the acknowledgement 1 to the client. Next 2 packet sends to the server. Now the server is acknowledgement with the 2. Until it receives the acknowledgement, the client is not sending the message. Did you observe here? After receiving the acknowledgement only, it's sending the another packet. So this is one way of sending the packets and dividing the packets and sending the message to the server. So here some drawback is there. This strategy you call it as a stop and wait protocol. Stop and wait protocol. You already know about the stop and wait protocol. So here I use the technology stop and wait. Okay, the client has to stop and wait until it receives the acknowledgement. That is the concept of stop and wait protocol. But here the client send packet 0 with a first 1K, then waits for an acknowledgement for the server. Again the client sends the another 1K packet to the server and it has to wait until the acknowledgement. Okay, let me take another method. So this time I'm using, here the client is there and the server. So first what client is sending 1K packet and another 1K packet and another 1K packet and another 1K packet. Okay, it is sending all 1K packets one after the other. Finally, it receives acknowledgement of 0 to 3. The 4 packets acknowledgement is received by the client. So this method I call it as BLAST protocol. BLAST protocol. So this is another method often called as a BLAST protocol because it is simply for the client to send all the packets, okay, all the packets as fast as it can. With this method, the server can acknowledge the entire messages when all the packets have been received, not one by one. So this is how the RPC is going to handle the issue. Okay, if it is a file size is larger, then it's splitting the file into 1K packets and sending each 1K packet one after the other. Or second method is all packets at a time and receiving the acknowledgement from the, not at a time, one by one it is, okay, it's sending the packets as fast as it can. First sending, next sending, next sending, means it's dividing the packet and sending one after the another.
Thank you.